Hello.
Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Nice to see you, Elwa. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I put a special background for this
I was gonna
occasion.
say that's an interesting background you got going on there. What's that? Is that your new cat in the picture?
It
Tell
is
us, what are you
the
looking
Explore
at?
2.0.
Hmm.
Right? Is that what you
Brand.
see or you see it?
No, I see your cat.
No, it's not.
No, maybe the audience can chime in and tell us what you see. But how you doing, Elwa? How's your week?
Yeah, busy. Been a busy week. Um, with the launch of this Explore 2.0 as well, and a lot of things moving on the software and hardware side with our challenge too right now. So it's busy but good. Like the season I feel like is full full steam right now.
Hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, same. I think it's always marketing kind of works with a shorter, I would say, time frame than R&D. Obviously, you're oftentimes working on like products that are going to come out next year or features that are going to come out, 2-3 months from now. Marketing is more like measured in weeks. So right now we're focusing on the Explore that I'm sure we'll get into. But it's a really cool scooter. Like personally, I always find it exciting to work on the big scooters like the Phantom 2.0 and any of that are like the Pro that we launched before. But it's fun to see just how many people can suddenly enjoy an Apollo when the price point is right and a lot of the premium features are still there. So I'm actually really excited to see how the Explorer 2.0 does and if people like it. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah,
Uh,
me too.
so just before we get into the questions and obviously the Explorer 2.0, a quick announcement to everybody who's here that we're running this Every Ride Counts challenge this month. So if you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard of it, I highly recommend you head on over to our site and click the main hero banner on the page right now, which will take you to the leaderboard where you can see everybody who's participating in this challenge. And I want to say we're almost at 1,000 participating members. I think last I checked was like 900 something. We're at 990. So if everyone in this chat right now goes and signs up for the challenge, we'll crack 1,000. But the exciting part is that we have folks that are putting insane amounts of kilometers and miles on their scooters. So we started it just 7 days ago, and one of the users, J Rock, has already done 1,100 kilometers, which for our American audience is about 700 miles, which is pretty insane. 700 miles in 7 days on a scooter. Think about that. J Rock, I would love to hear from you and just understand how you're doing it. And by the way, we verify that these are real rides, eh? Like we make sure people don't put a scooter on a chair and spin the wheel in one spot. We actually looked at the GPS location of the scooter, and it is in fact moving. Um, so unless he's spinning it in his car while driving around or something, which I don't think is an option. This is for real. So if you haven't joined the challenge, I highly recommend you do. It's been a lot of fun to see people out there and enjoying their rides and sharing all of the adventures they're enjoying on their scooters. So every ride counts on our site. Check it out. Now, Elwa, Explore 2.0. What is it? Why do we bother making it? Who is it for? Tell us a little bit about the scooter, the thought behind the scooter.
Yes, people can see it here. This beautiful thing behind this beautiful thing. It's it's the first tubular design that we do. So you see the frame here. It's a tube going all around, right? And this is usually how you have maybe more affordable scooters are made. And even the fancier one, like the Segway, ST2 or the GT2, sorry, GT3, and they're made with tube like this. And the reason is that it's a lot more affordable than having big casted part or a big extruded part that you need to post process a lot after. This is just a tube that comes out of a machine that's all automated that can bend
And
it.
is it worse quality along because of
Long
that?
story short,
Is it worse
sorry,
quality because you're making it out of a tube versus like
it's not worse quality. it's just it's actually like a tube like this. It's great. The difference is that it's hard to do a nice design like this, without slapping a bunch of plastic on it. And I consider our design always very, like, our design philosophy is always very honest. Like, the frame that people see is what's under it. It's just the frame exposed. And if you compare, let's say, to the GT3 is a good example, or the ZT3 are made like this, or the GT2 even, or some of it. We wanted to do something tubular to be more competitive on the feature that you get, the performance that you get versus the price, which Apollo is always a bit more premium. So that was the challenge with this one, to do something tubular that still looks and feel premium. And it's hard to capture with this render here, but with the nice accent that we put with this anodized plate right here, with our nice headset, it still feels like an Apollo, and the suspension, the City one. So we really we're trying to do something competitive, which I don't think we announced the price for this yet. But this looks to me like a $11.99 scooter, $12.99 scooter.
Maybe
it's going to be much
before we announce a lot. Tell us what you think it's going to cost in the audience, in the comments before we reveal the price. It's a good little experiment to see, to your point.
Yes, please let us know. Maybe we can give some spec details.
Sure.
It's going to be a 48 at 2000. That's a good guess. That's it's going to be a 48-volt scooter, and the battery, we're looking around the 13.5 Ah. So some of you might find this smaller than the old Explorer, and yes, it's smaller than the old Explorer. The difference is that you have the old Explorer, the motor was like a 1000 watt. It was a 23 amp controller at 52 volt. This is going to be 48 volt, but the controller is 30 amp, which is the most powerful single motor we ever released by a mile in our new lineup. And this one has a bunch of new features compared to the new Explorer. So you have obviously the regen brake, like all our models. It's very strong too. The motor of this scooter, so you always have a choice when you make a scooter. Do you optimize for speed or you optimize for torque? This one is optimized for torque. So the top speed is 40 kilometers per hour. It could go faster, but we had to make the sacrifice to optimize for torque, which means that you basically have more torque than the Apollo Go, which is dual motor 9-inch. Smaller wheels usually means more torque because you can rotate it faster. And this one 10-inch and goes accelerate faster than the Go, but the Go has a higher top speed at 45 kilometers per hour. So what we made this, basically, we were trying to do the best value for money. So you have 10-inch self-healing tires. That's nice. You have the City suspension, which, the City suspension is great because it's simple to no maintenance. Like, we barely sold any replacement part for the City suspension. There's no squeaking, from it. It works great. People love it. So we reapplied the same one. We just improved it a little bit, the feeling on it. Inside this suspension, you have rubber cartridge, which we have a new way to make it, and now it's smoother when you reach the bottom. So that's nice. So you have the great suspension, the regen brake. You have the new dot display. So this is still the dot 1 display. So you don't have the NFC or the Apple Find My, but it's our new ways of making it, of drilling the display directly into the headset. So you don't have a big plastic over it. So this means no glare. This means no scratches as well. So it's just a new way of making it. And to reduce the price further, this one doesn't come with the quad lock, but the quad lock can be installed. So if you want, you just go on our website, buy the little piece, and install it, and then you have it. And you can buy a regular phone holder too, because that's the other big part. If you compare this to the old Explorer, even the current City, the handlebar of this one is a regular 22 millimeter. So any phone holder you're going to buy on Amazon is going to fit on this one. So no need even to put a quad lock if you don't want to. And it's the same for all accessories. This has throttles cover from the handlebar to the throttle and then down. Those covers are removable, so you gain even more space to put your regular accessories on it, which is lovely. And the other way we were able to retain really our DNA design is about, and something that's about safety as well, is the light on the scooter, right? You have the crazy headlight that you have on the new Stellar and the 52-volt Phantom, so super bright, the brightest by far. You have the new stem light as well that is the same as the Phantom. And it's so smooth, like it's really the best diffusion we achieved so far. and it's super bright, you know. Then you go down the body, you have underlight body on this one. That's so instead of this reflector, now there's a little bump that you don't see from the top, but it's an underlight body, so it shines on the ground. It's white, like the other white light of the stem and the headlight, so it all match. You know, it looks beautiful. And at the back, you barely see it here, but on the fender, you have a new halo fender light, which is gonna flash when you brake. So you're really surrounded by lights. So you know you're really miles ahead of the old Explorer in terms of a feature and integration like this.
Nice. So it sounds like, you know, for the price point, which maybe we'll reveal at the end of this episode, that sounds like a lot of value, basically, right? The high amperage discharge with a 1600 watt peak output of the motor, which is pretty crazy. What's the top speed that we're looking at on this one? I don't think you mentioned
40 kilometers per hour.
Okay, so 40 kilometers, which is the same as 25 miles per hour, right? And range-wise, I mean, I know you said it's a 13 and a half AH battery, but you know, in eco mode, we're looking at what, 20, 25 miles probably of range?
Yeah, it depends really how fast. So you're gonna
always depends, right? But in eco, yeah.
It's yeah, you can probably do around 30 in eco, 30, 35. We see crazy numbers. But yeah, realistically, you're looking a bit more than the current Go. And the Go people, in average, they do around 20 to 25 miles. And there's going to be a little bit more. So in that range, yes.
Right. And so I think one thing that maybe some people are wondering too is, you know, who is this scooter for, right? Because the Explorer before was sort of this sweet spot between kind of a high performance Phantom, but also like the more commuter friendly City. It had the previous one, a 52 volt battery system, single motor. So it still had decent torque, you know, it could get up a hill here and there, but it was priced really well. It was, if I recall correctly, towards the end of our time selling it, closer to $11.99 USD. So, you know, for a 52 volt scooter, 10-inch tires, like also, you know, had that collapsible kind of handlebar system, right? So it was pretty compact for its size. So I think a lot of folks liked that it offered that unique set of features. Now, how does this one sort of honor that legacy? Does it honor it at all, or is it actually just meant for somebody else in the lineup?
Yeah, that doesn't honor it at all. You know, there is not a single part that is the same as the original Explorer. Everything is different. There's nothing that is the same, just to be 100% clear. Yeah, so the original Explorer, honestly, it was great, you know, for the performance that you had with the footprint when folded. Really good. This is just a different a level of technology and integration. You know, I think right now we prefer having things that doesn't fold or fold a different way, like we're folding, rather than something convenient that present more like inherent risk by the mechanical design of it. So we choose now to have like a one-piece handlebar, you know, because it just looks better and it's allowed to be curved, rather than having something that folds, but you always feel a little loose, you know, on it. So to answer your question, who is this for? It's really the Go, you know, because people could say this is like, why would I buy the Go? The Go is still much lighter than this, you know. This is going to be 60 pounds. It's made of like a top tier of steel, you know. This is all steel. It's usually our scooters are aluminum. Steel is much stronger than aluminum, and we decided to do that because of the pole design. So, well, let's say you still have to go at like 48, 49 pounds, depending on the day, so it's still easy to carry. The handlebar is still short, you know, of the Go, compared to this one. The handlebar is similar to the one on the Phantom. You know, it's the big curved one, so it's you know, feel like planted. It's nice, but it's 60 pounds, you know, and it takes some space. So if you need to put like your car, the scooter in your trunk or at the office, you know, or bring it in the metro, well, the Go is probably the best option. You know, it's small and compact, at being 9-inch as well with integrated suspension. While this one is more like you have a garage, or you're gonna go to work with your scooter and you have like a decent place to put it rather than under your desk, just more comfortable by the suspension and the wheel. But in terms of like really the range and the acceleration, they are indeed both similar. It's just a different form factor, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah. So yeah, I think those are really, really good points from like a user perspective, right? What are the scooters for? And then if we just do a super quick kind of in 36 volts, right? Explorer is single motor in 48 volts. The battery is obviously 3648, but you go from 540 watt hours to 648 watt hours. So a little bit bigger on the Explorer capacity wise. Then, like as you mentioned, the Go is what, 49 pounds, I think.
Yes.
49 versus this is going to be 60. So obviously, quite a bit heavier, right? And I think what comes with it is that width element that you mentioned. So the Go is still quite narrow, but the Explorer is, with its sort of off-road handlebars, obviously, let's just say it's door frame width rather than anything else. So I don't know about folding it and carrying it up the stairs into a small apartment, right?
It's still
perhaps the biggest place.
Made sure to have the rear handle. Here we don't see it, but there's an opening at the back, so it's still very convenient to grab it like the City or even the Apollo Pro. You have the rear handle and you grab it by the front like this. But yes, it's just heavier and bigger.
And perhaps the biggest place where they differ is going to be that suspension and comfort, right? So the Go has those 9-inch tires with dual suspension, yes, but it's very small travel distance versus the Explorer's got the 10-inch tires with the proper city suspension, right? So that's really where you're going to see the biggest difference.
Yes, 100%. And what is interesting with those suspension, we never did it on the City, but we could, and we might as well do it now that we're going to have two models with the suspension. But you can offer different, like at the factory, we have this suspension softer and one harder. This one is the one that a bit harder. So we can play with this, like offer different configuration to people depending on their weight, while it's impossible with the Apollo Go.
It's a little bit more customizable. So again, playing into that mindset of somebody who's buying the Explorer predominantly to, well, explore, have fun, go on adventures, take it out on weekend rides, and maybe they want to customize it a little bit, right? Invest in some upgrades, some accessories. It's kind of a scooter that's designed for all that out of the gate, as opposed to the Go, which is a little bit more, cookie cutter in that sense, where you sort of, have less customizability, less options. But those are the constraints you had to impose on people to achieve that amount of performance in that compact footprint, right?
Yes. And this one comes equipped with the Ludo mode as well, which has really built up from the start with this, to unleash the 30 amp in that motor. So again, you have a good kick. The acceleration is nice.
Nice. So I mean, the price estimates for the scooter, we saw a couple come up, all the way from I think 900 to 2,000, so a pretty big range. The truth is that we're going to land somewhere closer to the 900 price point. So pre-order incentives aside, we're looking at this being around $899 USD. So again, given how the scooter presents itself, and maybe this doesn't come across the render that's behind the wall, but I think the size of the scooter is something that we haven't really acknowledged yet, right? Like it's not the size of the Go, it's actually the size of the City, which when you see that just piece of scooter in front of you, you kind of realize, wow, that feels like a lot of value over and above all the specs, the features that it comes with. So we're pretty impressed with what Owa and his team have been able to achieve at that level of competitiveness in terms of the price points. So yeah, looking forward to seeing it out in the wild. Anything else to add on the Explorer before we dive into the questions?
Kickstand, it's a generic kickstand like this. So we just took a generic one, but nice rubber foot here, and can be changed. It's a standard mounting size. So you have the choice. That's nice. Here, what you see is an anodized plate. It looks a bit different actually in the final form. And here you have like a reinforcement on the neck area. There's a full walkthrough that we're publishing tomorrow.
Yes,
I believe
tomorrow, right? Saturday, yeah.
So tomorrow, people, you can go on YouTube and you're gonna see walk through every detail. So maybe if you have any more questions, check the video tomorrow, and you're gonna see it's worth it.
Cool. Very nice. All right, let's start with Austin's questions. Hey, Austin.
So Austin got his Stellar, and I've seen that once in the past with a City at a repair center. Actually, it was not a new unit, but that the temperature sensor is reading too high for some reason. So even if you turn on the scooter, it's going to say that your motor is overheating, and there's going to be a protection from the controller to prevent that. So I think, Austin, maybe obviously we would change it out of we would replace your unit right away. If this happened out of the box, I think the reason why Enzo was suggesting this is that we're sold out on that unit, and he was trying to find a solution. But yeah, you've been waiting for a long time, Austin. So we are getting more. What date are we? I'll talk to Enzo, Austin, and I'll let you know. I don't know if you tried already, but sometimes it's just a motor calibration thing. So what you could try is we have a video on YouTube of how to do that. So maybe check the video to be sure how to do it. But you put the scooter in the air so the wheel don't touch the ground, and you do what we call a motor calibration. So you turn on the scooter and you press 10 times very quickly as soon as it turn on the power button. And it's going to make a bunch of weird sound. It's totally normal. You let it do its thing. It's going to spin the rear wheel, then the front one, and then it's going to say error 3 on the display or just turn off. And then try again. And this reset and calibrates the motor. Maybe that's going to fix it and you're going to be good. But regardless, I'll talk with Enzo after this chat, and we'll get you back up on the road. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for pre-ordering it since October. And that's crazy. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll take care of you, Austin. You've been probably one of the first pre-orders on this, right? So yeah, we'll get it right. From Arten. Arten wants to know if there is an upgrade kit dropping for the Apollo Pro.
No upgrade kit. No upgrade kit planned for the Pro. Maybe the only thing we did in the past, it's like a 60 volt thing, to improve it. But the reason why we're not doing it on the Pro is that to do the 60 volt, like the one we did, the prototype, you would need to replace the controller, the battery, and it's a crazy battery you need for this, and the 2 motors. And on top of that, ideally, hydraulic disc brake. So, the cost of this kit would be so high that I don't think it's worth it. If you want to upgrade your Pro, you want more performance, but you just love your Pro, I would strongly recommend checking into the controllers called the VESC, 4 letters. And this is going to allow you to configure it. It's what we were doing before, a long time ago for our Ludo controller, and this really unlocked everything. So maybe look at this, and it's a fun DIY project. And now it's becoming more and more popular, those controllers. So you have a lot of guides online about to do it. So that would be my recommendation, and it would be way cheaper than changing all the other components.
Nice. Ignacio, I think we answered the question with the Go comparison already. Question from Hans. The suggestion for the magnet folding latch, Hans thinks it's not strong enough, so the latch comes off over every bump and causes an annoying clicking noise against the stem. Thoughts on that? So depend what unit you have. If it's the Stellar or the Phantom, one thing you can do, so we have a magnet on the latch, so when you fold the scooter, it's going to click. And on the headset side for this magnet to hold, we put a screw there, right? And what we realize, it's either the magnet is too recessed when we press it. It's not consistent because it's coming out of the mold a little bit different, the latch. So sometimes the magnet sits a bit deeper. So the contact is not ideal. What you can do is turn the screw on the headset side counterclockwise, so it's going to stick out a little bit and go fill this gap. This fixed it for me. And the other thing you could do is get neodymium magnet on Amazon. Like they sell literally those ones that are super powerful for like $5, and you just stick it on your magnet, and that's gonna work. In the short term, that would be my suggestion, and in the long term, we're revising the mold for the magnet to stick out on the other side. So it really has a good contact with that steel screw. Yeah. And is this something that we've resolved for future models, future productions?
I think it's still ongoing. It's really like they're rejecting it when they see the magnet, but the difference, the problem is like at the factory we don't ride over big bumps, we ride on the factory on the little hill, and on the little bump, but sometimes with big impact, yes, it's on the old Phantom we're doing that. We're putting rubber washer on each side of the latch, so it was creating naturally a restriction, when you were moving it. So I think that would help as well. So we're looking into it.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, Hans. Jason's wondering if the Australian order of the Stellar is still all right, given that Luke moved on. So yes, Luke, our Australian ongoing and intact, so no concerns. Jason, your scooter is still very much valid in terms of its kind of order status. All right, from Black Phantom, who we know very well. How you doing, Dave? So, oh damn, from trying a Phantom 2.0. When do you forecast the price will be affected by our stupid factors in US tariffs at the moment because of the fact that the scooter was delivered post-tariff announcement? So as of right now, we don't actually have any further changes to the pricing plans. So no concerns there. Steven loves his new Go. We're very happy to hear that. Go is
Thanks, Steven, at the Air before, so it's a nice upgrade.
All right, Loa, can you tell me what size of PMT tires will fit on the Phantom 2.0 52 volt? The tires on the 52 volt are the only one complaint that I have. I want to change them, but I don't want to risk getting the wrong size.
So you should be able to fit the 10, the 11 by 3. They do have them, the CST. So let me check quickly. But yeah, they have the classic one, not the CST, sorry, the PMT. Those are CST. And the one of the, yeah, I have it here. It's PMT 11. To be honest, you're going to be the first one that tried, so full disclaimer. But this one here, the 11, that is the 100 by 55 by 6.5. This should fit. So try this and let us know. But you have enough clearance, with the fender and everything, so you should be good. No?
Cool. All right. Moving on to Hans again. So I have to say I'm a bit disappointed about the region brake on the Stellar. My Phantom V3 was stronger and more effective even when it's cranked up to 10, and that's surprising to hear. I think in general, have you heard of that before? Any comments?
Yeah. So people can go see to the video we released of the hill climbing that we compare the Pro, the 52 volt, and the 60. Okay, the 60 demolish everyone on the acceleration and hill climbing, but in the mechanical brake. But on the regen side, yes, it's a little less strong, and the reason for this is even if it feels less strong, we are shooting a lot of current back, in the controller, and it's not weak by any means, but it is weaker than the other one for about a foot or two when you put them side by side. And the reason is just that on the 60 volt architecture, like we have on the Stellar, we need to be very careful about what we're shooting back. It's more wattage at the end of the day that you're shooting back, and there's only so much a controller and the battery can take without degrading the lifespan of the battery. So that's why we tuned it down a little bit to be more on the safer side regarding the lifespan of the battery. But yeah, so what I've been telling to people, regen, you still use it 90% of the time, but yes, it's a little bit weaker. And I think like even me, I use more the mechanical brake on the Stellar, but it's the first time I do this. I never use mechanical brake, but the reason is just that the hydraulic brake feels so good, using them. It's like, it's great, that I'm like, damn, it's the first time I don't use the regen on our scooter because it's just amazing, the hydraulic one. But yeah, it's a bit weaker for now. There's going to be no firmware update for this. It's going to remain like this. Maybe in the future we can look into changing it. But for now, the good news is that the Mach 3 controller does support over-the-air update, so we could push it. But for now, it remains like this, and we're playing it a bit safer than usual for this.
So it sounds like you'd want to wait a little bit, collect a bit more data on how the controller behaves when people are shooting a lot of regen back into it, and then maybe over time kind of revisit this question if we feel it's a safe choice for the riders to allow more.
Yes, and to see how the batteries are lasting too, just in the long term. And like for everyone that records a ride, we see it in the back end, and everyone can see all the data about your scooter, all the sensors. If you share your ride, you go into the app, you click on the share button, and you send it to yourself or whoever. It's going to generate a web link that then you can see all your sensors. And there you can see that we shoot just as much current back into the battery than the 52 volt. It's the same. Like sometimes I think it's minus 55 amp I'm shooting into the battery, which is enormous. So you can see that it's the same value. It's just that I generate more wattage because it's 60 volts.
Okay, good to know. All right, Martin. In the past, the Explorer was a step up from the City. This seems like a simpler model. It's true, it is a simpler model. I think right now it makes sense to us because we know what the next City will be, and so that kind of hierarchy that you're describing will still be respected, if you will. But we're also recognize that there is a gap in the market for an entry-level performance scooter, which is exactly what the Explorer is meant to fill. So that was sort of the rationale, the logic behind pursuing that specific spec configuration. All right, from Johan, why does this street tire for the Phantom 2.0 Stellar not fit the 52 volts?
They do. It's the same rim on the motor, so they do. If you want to buy them and put it on it, it's gonna fit. And those tires are CST, and you can buy CST pretty much anywhere. So if we don't have it, you can go. I think maybe even on Amazon now they have it. But yeah, they do fit.
Cool. From Roger, when does Apollo Max come out, and do I need a separate subscription for each of my scooters? So Roger, right now it's been put on ice for an indefinite period of time. Reason being was just an overwhelming amount of negative feedback from the community, and we're sort of going back to the drawing board and thinking about what features would really add value to people, rather than just kind of paywalling things that a lot of people felt very strongly should be free, should be included. So right now, no current timeline, and when we do have one, it's going to be something that again, we believe will offer enough value to justify paying for on a monthly basis. Alex, what about the Apollo Ghost? Make a new one.
It's
okay. Well, your work's cut out.
We have something in that range. The exact name, the name was the Piccolo, and it was supposed to be its own lineup. So things change so much, but we do have a pretty sick scooter that would fit in the Apollo Ghost thing. But again, it's such a thin balance between like not releasing too many models that are 52 volt, or 60 volt, the powerful one. So it was given that we just released the Phantom. So I think the best thing you could do is probably do your wish list, but we do have nice design for this size of scooter. Yes, but nothing in the short term, man. It's not
one step away from custom orders, basically.
Nothing for 2025. That's for sure.
Cool. From Tomasco, what are the changes to the motors between the 22 and 24 City? Off the top of your head, do you remember?
That's the same thing. I think like what changed, the casing of the motor changed, which was better at cooling. But the main reason why we changed the casing is that you have a lifespan for when you do mold. You always push metal and do tack, and sometimes the mold are just done. You retire them. And that's why the casing changed, and that's pretty much it. There is no more better explanation than this, unfortunately.
All right, Roger. I have to say this production Stellar is even better than the beta version I tested.
That's cool. So Roger has two scooter. One I think it was in Miami and Florida, and the other one I think he's back to Toronto, Canada. So he has one for every location. Thank you, Roger, and I'm glad that you see a difference too. So it's worth the trip of going there and improving it. Yeah, thank you for your support, Roger. He was an excellent beta tester with great feedback.
Beautiful. From Algorithm, thank you for sending the warranty parts for my burnt controller. Well, thank you for being patient and understanding. Austin, 2 side questions. When should I expect the Stellar fast charger to be available? When will I be able to get Ludo mode on the go? The toggle was there last month, and I update the app and it's gone.
So for the first question, the Stellar fast chargers are ready. They just need to be released by the supplier, which should happen next week. Then we put them in a container, and they're gonna come. Those new fast chargers, they're variable, so you can adjust the rate of charging, but also the total amount of charge. Do I charge it to only 80%, 90%, 100%? And there's a fan built in, so it's going to stay cool. Lovely chargers. I'm excited for all of you to get this. And for the Ludo toggle, so right now we have a new Ludo button in the app. Before you needed keep your finger 3 seconds on the sport button. Now there's a dedicated Ludo button. This Ludo button will only appear if the toggle of because you can just turn off Ludo mode in the app. If you turn off Ludo in the app, it means that when you click 3 times on the power button, it's not going to go into Ludo. When you turn it on, well, you're going to see the button appear in the app to put it in Ludo. But also when you click 3 times on the power button, it's going to go in Ludo mode. Right now, the app detects that if you don't have the firmware update for the Apollo Go, it's not gonna put the toggle. So if you don't see it, it means that probably you have an outdated firmware on your Apollo Go, and you can just reach out to CX and request that firmware update, and you're gonna see it there. But just still go into your setting and check if it's not there, because I believe in the last version that we pushed, if you don't have it and you put it on, we're going to suggest a firmware update to you. So I would say just go in your settings and make sure you don't see the toggle. And if you don't, just ask Enzo, the other guy you were talking to push you the firmware update, and it takes 10 minutes to do.
All right. We're going to rapid fire some of these last few questions. So, can we have different colors for eco, normal, sport, and Ludo modes in the app?
Yeah. So the app, we're working on a completely new tech stack for the app. It's going to be built a different way and with AI in mind. So it's going to be a huge step up. So for now, the app will remain the same unless just a bug fixes. But in the future, the UI, the UX, everything's going to be different. So maybe that's one of them. Different colors. Why not? So I would say be patient, and towards the end of the year, you're going to have something pretty new.
All right. From Christopher, are we able to buy upgrades for the Phantom 2.0 to get more speed?
I would say probably not. Steering dampener.
Stellar.
The Stellar. But no, it's as fast as it's ever going to go. The only thing you could do if you're DIY, buy a VSC controller and have fun and bypass the BMS of your battery. But obviously, it's not something we would recommend because it's already going fast enough.
All right, from the Arkan Prime, I like this one. I've been using my Phantom Stellar to deliver Uber Eats. People are constantly surprised by how fast I've been delivering. That's awesome.
That's great.
Are you guys planning on changing to this new design for all upcoming models? I guess that's in reference to the Explorer 2.0.
Yes, the Tube. No. Actually, I don't know. If we release this and we see, it's so stable and everything, honestly, it would make sense, but me, I really want to always have things exposed like this. At this frame, it's ridiculously faster to do a frame like this than anything else we do. It's an order of 10, 20, 30 times faster to do this than any other thing. I think we're going to release a video showing how we do this. It's all robots, basically. So we'll see. But for now, just this one, and even the other ones I designed, they don't look like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of precedent for high performance scooters like the Namis, right? That are all using that kind of, and now, like you said, the Segways too, that are all shifting towards that because when it's faster, it's also cheaper, right? Okay. Any chance the phone holder will be back in stock?
I thought it was. I need to check. So we'll take note of this and order more. I would say, though, if you have a model that don't have a quad lock, phone holders, that we did a video of accessory on YouTube. And in one of them, I cover one of those phone holders that fit perfectly on the city, with those huge handlebar. And so I would say if you don't have the quad lock, you have one of the older model, probably get this one from Amazon. It's dirt cheap and it works really well if you want one right now.
Nice. Any plans for a 40 amp hour scooter in the future?
We have planned to allow people to extend their battery, and it's surprisingly difficult to do. 40, I guess, but yeah, we're gonna have more updates on that towards the end of the year. But yeah, in theory, 40, yes, yeah.
All right, that's sort of answering the next question as well then. Are the Stellar fast chargers going to be included free or are they a separate purchase? If so, what will be the price?
So the Stellar charger and all fast charger moving forward, except the Go, they're going to be variable charger. Those things are expensive compared to regular chargers, so no, it's not included the fast charger. And the exact price, I'm not sure, in the hundreds. So it's like similar to the fast chargers we have now. And again, they're going to be available probably in a month and a bit by the time they come here. So yes.
Cool. Martin, perhaps I misunderstood, but what you said led me to believe that a redesigned City will be lower spec than the current Explorer. What will be the significant? Yeah, I think, Martin, there was a lot of changes in the naming convention of these scooters leading up to launch. So perhaps that's where the misunderstanding or confusion is coming from. But basically, the way we see it is that you've kind of got the Go on the commuter front as the entry level right now. You've got the Explorer as the entry level on the performance. Then you go up on the commuter front and you get to currently the City. And then you go up from the Explorer currently, and you sort of have this big jump right into the Phantom, right? So there's a bit of a gap between this kind of $900 scooter and the Phantom 2.0 starting at 2,000. So the next kind of gap that we're targeting is really something in the middle there for the kind of performance segments. Christopher, if you'd like to join the beta, I think you can just reach out to our support team and they'll be happy to give you the application details. And then is the Explorer 2.0 becoming the new Air? I would say definitely not with regards to its weight, but there is, we are constantly discussing the possibility of a new Air replacement. I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing anything at this stage.
It's just difficult, the Air, it's very difficult because one of the reasons why we are even bothering doing another Air is that we want an entry-level scooter, right? And the Air was, definitely more premium price-wise versus the Future. And it's just so difficult to make something original at that price point that, every week we're having discussion about what this, there is prototypes in the making of this, but we've been working on those prototypes for so long that it's a tough one. But yes, we want something. We just want our scooters to be more available to everyone, and this is one of the reasons why we're releasing this. But it still needs to talk about to show what we stand for, which this one does really well about innovation and design, and the Air is a tough one, but it's an interesting challenge, to be able to do all of this at a more affordable price. So I would say yes, but it's yet not clear to me what is the precise path forward for this model, but it's definitely something we're actively working on.
For sure. Alrighty, I think that's the end of the questions. I still see 990 challenge participants. So once again, if you haven't signed up for the challenge, please do head on over to our site and join it. We are giving away amazing hoodies and double the amps for all the folks joining the challenge this month. So don't miss out. Otherwise, Elwa, any final words of wisdom before we break up for the weekend?
No, thank you, everyone, and we'll see you in the next live. And tomorrow we're posting the video about this beast, so go check it out on YouTube, and you're gonna have all the details and answers you're looking for.
It's gonna be a fun one. Thanks for joining, guys. Thanks, Elwa.
Bye-bye.